Hello everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Charmaine.
And we are
The Complex Girls. This video is a Sista Talk. We got water today.
Yeah.
We got water today. This Sista Talk is, actually Brittany came up with the title. The question we're answering:
are millennials lazy?
I feel like that is said a lot in social media, just online. Older generations say millennials are lazy.
Yes.
So we kind of want to talk about that.
Yes. And just to jump things off, a millennial is categorized to be someone who was born between the years of 1980 and 2000. So right now, millennials are the largest age group in American history. So, you know, clearly the world is ruled by millennials. I'm sure y'all see it on social media, but we want to talk about some different things that we've seen and heard relating to if millennials are lazy. So first off, clearly we know that technology plays a big role in the age group of millennials.
Yep.
Because we socialize with each other through technology. We create businesses through technology.
Right. I was gonna say that goes to this article I was reading. It was in Time magazine and it was called "The 14 Most Destructive Millennial Myths Debunked by Data." So actually, like, these different myths, you know, in this article, one of which was millennials aren't equipped to handle the world's challenges. And that was backed up by data saying, while there are no substantial challenges to meet, no generation has been better equipped to overcome than millennials. They are skilled with technology, determined, diverse, and more educated than any previous generation. I literally remember growing up, like, learning how to type on a computer. You know, like, we had all that technology. In the 90s, frankly, because that's what we were first, like, you know, that was what we first had, like, in school. Was computers and even computer games, like learning how to do numbers and like learning how to type, like all that stuff was when we were younger. So it makes sense that we are tech savvy. And I feel like the technology aspect of millennials, not saying lazy, but saying efficient. I feel like we have efficient ways of doing things.
That's a better word for it. Plus, this device right here is already, it's almost like a computer in itself, you know. So you have your phone contacts, you have your apps to connect with people, and this wasn't around.
Right, it was like this big, like
this wasn't around like when our dad was growing up. And he would tell us all the time, like, you know, if I was growing up and if we had YouTube and if we had like Facegram, he doesn't know exactly what he says the difference. He said like
Snapbooks. We're like, Dad, no,
Facebook. But he would say like, yeah, we would use those means of communication, because he didn't have them when he was growing up, and he's about to be 60. So he was born in the late 1950s, early 60s. So a lot of that technology wasn't around for the younger people that were alive at that time.
Right. I think the interesting thing about some of the older generations saying that millennials are lazy, like, they created the technology. Pretty much. They created the groundwork of the technology that we are using today. So you can't, like, that's kind of like counterintuitive. You know what I mean? Like, you want society to advance, but it's like, oh, millennials are lazy and they don't, you know, But it's like, you created the technology for us to be able to do things more efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. And I also feel like that's debunked with a lot of the activism that has really, really ramped up in, I want to say, the past like 10, 15 years. Like, a lot of stuff that's happening politically is on the shoulders of the young people, because we're the ones that have to experience the effects of it. So what happened with the water pipeline, Black Lives Matter, like the school shootings, like there's a lot of activism that has drawn out from millennials to really create change. Really. Exactly. So it's like this generation isn't lazy in that sense, because a lot of changes are happening because of the young people.
Right. I feel like millennials, I'm proud to be a millennial, because I just feel like we don't care. Like, we want to see change. And like you were saying, like about you know, these different movements, a lot of them gain steam because of social media. You know, I hear about, you know, a police shooting or something like that because I went on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, even sometimes mainstream news doesn't show everything that's going on, but when you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, you see like our community talking about it. Right. So that keeps us in the know. That keeps us conscious and woke about things going on. Because even traditional media forms, like, I don't sit down and watch the news anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I look on my phone or I look on Twitter and I can kind of see what people are talking about, you know? So that's changed a lot.
I know. That really has changed a lot. Even just, like you mentioned, the viewership of TV has gone down a lot. It's gone down because of YouTube is one of the factors. But I just feel like TV isn't, I want to say, structured to really fit the palette of a young millennial. No. Like, there's so many things that we'd like to watch, but if it's not on TV, we'll find it somewhere else.
That's true, because regular TV is boring. It's like
infomercials. Y'all seen those boring infomercials?
Right. But let me just say, it's not, I don't want to say like regular TV, because stuff like Atlanta and like Insecure is on TV. That's true. That's tailored for an audience. So I guess I mean some stuff on TV is still tailored for the older generation, like our dad's generation, that maybe we wouldn't necessarily be interested in. But I still will like watch Insecure or Atlanta, you know? Yeah. Even though those are on like traditional TV like channels, but I just don't watch other things. Like,
I mean, that's just how millennials are. I just feel like, and notice too, like, brands know that millennials are the audience to market to. Like
millennial buying power is through the roof.
Yeah, it is. It's like in every industry, makeup, fashion, movies, like going to the movies, right? You know, like it's millennials are the ones really bringing in the quaint, you know. So a lot of brands, and millennials too, they're diverse. Millennials are diverse. So brands wanting to get millennials to buy their product, whatever, you have to know that diversity is a huge part of getting the millennial audience.
Yeah, I think diversity has become more of a priority, I feel like, for a lot of marketing, to attract this diverse pool of millennials, because we want to see ourselves. Exactly. You know, and traditional forms of media, they're just not going to work anymore. You can't just have a white model for this hair brand and feel like everyone's going to be all woo about it. Like, that doesn't represent the majority of people that are, they got kinky hair, they got straight hair, maybe they got a weave, like, you know, like, represent the different people that live on this earth. Like, it's not just one face, it's not just one body type, it's not just one skin tone, it's a diverse pool of everything.
Exactly. And that's beautiful too. Yeah, it's beautiful because millennials don't care to be silent. Like, they'll express, hey, you need diversity. Hey, why are you putting out a racist ad? You know,
right? Like that's a problem.
It's a problem. Millennials aren't afraid to voice their opinions.
No,
they're really not. And you can see that on social media. You can see that with the protests that have been happening worldwide, because there's not just stuff happening in America. There's stuff happening all over the world, like international news. Like young people are creating these movements. So
yeah, exactly. And they're on the same wavelength. They want change. Like,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
fucking time. Like, no,
yeah,
it's fucking time for change, because if the older generation isn't doing it, then it is on us to do it. Like, we're the only ones that can change the trajectory of our future.
Exactly. It's really up to us. You watching,
it's
us,
true. Like we're in this. We're in this. Like,
we out here for real.
I know.
Like, consciousness is changing in a way that makes it so much more accessible to access information of even just feeling more empowered of who you are, feeling more empowered as a Black woman. I feel more empowered as a Black woman because I have access to information, to my history, and just how the world is really supposed to work. It's not supposed to be so divided, or like, this is the enemy, this isn't the enemy. That's not real. It's not real at all. And I feel like millennials are really debunking that separation of, you look like this, I look like this, we can't get along, when really it's not true. Like, everyone can get along, everyone can sort of understand why these systems of oppression have been in place and how to deconstruct them. Millennials are deconstructing things that have been set up like for decades. So
I think that the powerful thing, I guess, just like an ending note, I feel like the powerful thing about millennials, like you said, deconstructing like basically systemic oppression, is actually knowing that it is systemic.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like I learned like the different structures that were in place until I was like educated on it. I feel like going to college and going to school really helped me, but obviously there's like online sources and stuff that people learn all this information from, to like, yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, we should do something. Yeah, there is change that needs to happen. But I feel like because we know that they are systemic structures and that we know we can change it, it just makes it more of a rally of all these millennials on social media. It's just like, brands, they can't ignore it. Like, they literally can't ignore it, you know? So I just feel like we have the right tactics to making change, and that's why I feel like change is going to happen in our generation. Woo! That was
hello. Yeah, we can obviously talk about this for a long time, but we want to connect with you all to continue this conversation. If you all have any input that you have with this topic, and even stuff that you've learned, whatever age group you may be, what things have you learned through your experience and through like technology? Like, we love to know how these changing times have affected your life. So please drop us a comment.
Please let us know in the comments. Yay! And if you want to keep up with us, we are at thecomplexgirls on everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and here on YouTube. Join the fam for more conversations.
Yes.
Cool pictures. You know, we got that fashion going on our Instagram, that beauty. So check us out on our socials if you want to keep up with us.
Yeah. So until next time, we'll see you in our next video. Bye.
Yes.